Charles Krauthammer of Fox News is going to give some advice to Trump on how to deal with the debates and with his campaign, and it's just perfect.
He might have lost the debate. It was pretty close. It was not the rout that people say it was, but he really threw it away the morning after when he went down the rabbit holes on the Miss Universe and all the other stuff. And that's happened to him before. I think he can hold his own. He just needs to ignore, as everybody here has said, ignore the bait. He should just dismiss all the quotations that he hears the way that Pence did. Deny it ever happened and then ignore the fact checkers the next day.
Okay, if I was a Republican and I heard Charles Krauthammer say that, I would leave the Republican Party. I would. He's admitting the Republican ticket is anti-fact, and they should be against facts if they want to win. So he's saying, well, I mean, come on, you have to pull the wool over everybody's eyes. You have to tell them the reality isn't what it is in order for you to win, in order for you to do well. I mean, come on. He said, dismiss the quotations. In other words, dismiss what you've said. Act like it didn't fucking happen. Act like it never happened. Because guess what? If you admit and acknowledge it did happen, I mean, obviously you're going to lose. Those things you said were fucking crazy. No, man. This is, okay, and it's not just Donald Trump, because this has been happening for a while now. So I don't know if you guys remember, but back when it was Obama versus Mitt Romney, you remember the moment where one of Mitt Romney's top staffers said, our campaign is not going to be affected by the fact checkers or something, to that effect. He said something like that. This campaign is not going to be dictated by the fact checkers. Okay, this should be a gigantic story in the country. If you're not going based off the facts, if you're not making decisions based off the facts, if your campaign is not driven in one direction or another based off the facts, what is it going off of? Can you answer that question for me, Charles? Donald? Mike Pence? Can you answer that question for me? There's an embedded admission in there of, yeah, we go wherever the fuck we want to go, and we don't care about reality. So we're going to drive this ideological train or boat in any goddamn direction we please, because our truth may not be the truth, but it's our own truth, so that's good enough. But no, that's not good enough. That's how a child thinks. When a child runs around in a Batman costume or an Iron Man costume and has fun and plays with their toys, that's what they're doing. They're creating their own reality and using their imagination, and that's fine because they're a kid and they're playing. You're trying to be the most powerful person on planet Earth, and you're saying, I don't care about the fact checkers. Ignore the fact checkers, downplay the fact checkers, don't give a shit about facts, and dismiss the shit you said in the past because, come on, it's so ridiculous that you have to act like you never said it or else you're tanked. You're done. Your campaign is over. What an amazing admission. Look, if it was a Democrat who said this, I think the news would blow up so much that everybody would be talking about it. Every mainstream outlet would be talking about it because the Republicans would hammer away on that so much and they'd laugh and they'd cackle. And guess what? In that situation, they would be right if they did it and a Democrat said, yeah, we're anti-fact. Duh, we're against facts. They'd be like, we win! You just said you're against facts! Who the fuck is against facts? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Facts are what is reality. Reality is made up of facts. It's the truth. So you're saying you're against truth, but that is what they're saying. Disregard the truth. Disregard the truth. It's not convenient for you. And therein lies the main point. For the far right, truth, we're against it. We're against it. What do you want me to say? We're against it. I mean, look at their positions. So, for example, on the far right, there's climate change. It's a hoax. It's a conspiracy. Okay, that's not true, but we don't care. We don't care that it's not true. Evolution. Mike Pence gave speeches in Congress in favor of creationism against evolution. Given the classic, oh, it's just a theory, evolution is. Okay, but Mike, that's not true. I don't care. True enough for me. I don't care. Truth is not the main goal here. Truth is not the end goal here. And the list goes on and on. You know, how many different issues? Tax cuts for the rich and deregulation makes the economy great. Guys, we just what do you think led to the Great Depression? What do you think led to the Great Recession? I mean, what, is it a coincidence that leading up to it, we had massive tax cuts for the rich and deregulation? No, that's what happens when you do that. The end result is a bubble, and then it bursts. Like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care because we're against the fact checkers. We're against truth. They think they have a truth that overrides empirical truth. So in their own mind, the ends justify the means. The end goal is the ideological purity of the far right-wing beliefs. So, you know, it's like that test that they wanted to give to potential GOP Congress people, the purity tests, where Ronald Reagan would have failed the test. I mean, think about that. He would have gotten, 7 out of 10 didn't apply to him or something like that. Some ridiculous, the overwhelming majority of the questions, Reagan failed. But they said, no, this is the new purity, the new ideological purity of being a right-winger. And again, truth doesn't factor into it. It's like you have to believe things that are false to be part of the club. But they think that is our truth, and it's in a religious fundamentalist way. You cannot back away from these things that we believe. And it just so happens that those things don't coincide with reality. So you have a genuinely childish party whose ideology is basically a fundamentalist religion in its own right, and this is the results. They can say things as preposterous as, yeah, forget about what you said, disregard the quotes, you have to ignore them, forget about what you said, and ignore the fact checkers because that's inconvenient. Well, thank you for admitting that. Allow me to say in response, we win! You're anti-fact. You're anti-truth. Game, set, match.